Hello, everyone. My name is Candace Cordelia, and welcome to our final installation of the Mission Pro Wrestling Black History Month series. So far, we've had some amazing guests such as Rashay Chanel and Holiday. But of course, today we have the one and only Mission Pro Wrestling star, Mazzerati. How's it going?
Hey, Candace, how's it going? Thanks
It's
for having me.
You're so welcome, Mazzerati. And I know before we had a little chat as we were getting things started. And, I've been following your career for quite some time. We just haven't had the pleasure of meeting one another in person, but it's been really nice just seeing the progression of what you've been able to achieve since you started not that long ago. And you're really booming in the wrestling industry. You're doing a lot of amazing things. And that, of course, includes your tenure in Mission Pro Wrestling, which we'll get to in a little bit. But my first question really for you, Mazzerati, is who is Mazzerati? How did your journey in wrestling get started?
Shoot. You want me to start from when I first started watching or when I first started training?
Let's do started watching and then getting into training.
Gotcha. Well, I was a tomboy back in the day. I did a lot of sports. I started watching like 96, 97. I was just turning 7 years old. It was right before they switched to Attitude Era. So I don't know, I just popped it on one time on TV and I'm like, wow, this is cool. People beating each other up. And then after that, it started becoming a thing. And I'm just like, oh, I had to catch it every time. And then I finally caught the flow of when it would be on. And then from there, I was just like, oh, I have to do this. And I have to say Team Extreme is the reason why I really wanted to do it. And I didn't know about wrestling schools till 2015. And then that's when I started training in Las Vegas at FSW.
Wow. So that really absolutely is not that long ago. I mean, 2022 just started. So how was it like training for you at FSW at that time period?
In the beginning, I had fun. My first trainer was Leon Hader. I'm one of 8 girls that was actually there, but I was the only one that actually stayed. So there was no women's class after 3 months. And we only had women's class every Sunday. So I didn't really have a lot of training yet until the break of the women's class. And I had to choose or join the advanced class with the guys, which I feel like that was better for me because I was able to actually learn since their training was every day. So it was fun. I appreciate all my trainers. The journey was a little bit harder for me for being a woman. So being the only girl in the class. So it was crazy, but I'm glad of how far I've come and just all the women that we have now. They're starting to grow. It's been a crazy journey, to be honest, but I'm happy for it and I don't take anything back.
Wow. I mean, growing up and watching wrestling, which women wrestlers in particular stood out to you the most and were the ones that you really wanted to emulate and kind of craft your career after?
Well, Lita was right up my alley. Like, she was the reason why, like, the minute she did that moonsault off the top when she was with S.A. Rios, I'm like, oh, I'm sold. She's a badass girl, just like I want to be a badass woman. And her clothes style was kind of similar to mine back then. I experienced and dabbled in a lot of different type of genres and styles and stuff back in the day. And I just felt like she fit the bill. And besides Lita, though, I was a big Molly Holly and Ivory fan as well. I feel like they really set the tone as well for the women in the women's division. Jacqueline was great, the originals, all the ones back in the days.
Oh, yeah. Fine choices. Absolutely. So for you, what was your first wrestling match like?
Ooh. Well, oh man, it was pretty interesting. Let's just say I wasn't ready yet. Kind of. I probably should have taken a little bit more training before my first few matches. So, but you live and you learn, and you go back to the lab and work on yourself, and you get better. So, um, you know, we just go out there before we're ready, and you learn from it, and then you work harder, train harder, and you come back better. So I'm I watch I don't watch it now, but like yeah, there's times I've watched my old matches, the first beginning ones, and I'm like, oh wow, I really grown from that. So
Yes, yes. And now look at you. You are wrestling in Mission Pro Wrestling. You've had stints in Ring of Honor and AEW, and you mentioned FSW, OVW as well. When it comes to being a part of the Mission Pro Wrestling roster, what have you learned thus far that you take to heart, that you really have applied for your career in general?
um well being a Mission Pro, I'm really sorry, I have my dog on me if anybody's wondering why I'm moving a lot. Being a Mission Pro, man, I've wanted to be a part of that for quite some time. The women there are amazing. I don't get the chance of always just being around a whole bunch of amazing women that share the same passion as me. So I just felt like it was great to finally get in there and getting these awesome conversations and knowledge from these other women and learning and just, knowing each struggle of where we're all coming from to get here to where we're at. And I'm pretty proud of everybody. I'm proud of all the women right now. I'm just so happy to see everybody blossoming right now in this women's division, like all together with Mission Pro, and on top of that, everywhere else.
Mhm. And one thing about Mission Pro that really stands out from a ton of other promotions, whether it's overall or woman centric, is how diverse it is. A lot of people state that they really love the fact that Mission Pro is one of the most diverse wrestling promotions that they've ever come across. What are your thoughts about that, considering your experiences beforehand and looking at just diversity as a whole in the industry?
Everybody there has their own unique style, their own unique personality. You're not going to see the same character, the same personality, anything like that. I'm just every girl brings something different to the table, and inside the ring, outside the ring, whether they're the face or heel, they're all great people, and you're gonna love them either way.
Fine, fine, certainly. And you are doing a lot of wonderful things in Mission Pro. We have a show that is coming up on March 5th, No Debe Jugar, and it's supposed to be one of the most preeminent shows that Mission Pro is putting on this year. I know, what are your thoughts about all of the different shows that Mission Pro has put on thus far? Because they all seem to have their own specific flavor and theme. And people love that aspect about Mission Pro as well.
I really think it's awesome. I've been pushing for them. Yeah, that show's going to be amazing. March 5th. I wish them the best on that. I would love to hopefully like with them more, just because they are an amazing company. So hopefully they do bring me back. I know that March 5th is going to be a very amazing show. So don't miss out on that, anybody. Get your tickets now.
Man, I love the fact that you were like, I'm not going to be a part, but please come out. And that
Yeah.
is another thing that people really love in terms of the wrestlers that are involved with Mission Pro and the promotion itself, is everyone is so supportive. Everyone wants to see each other succeed no matter what. And that's really special. It's not every day that you can see that,
I want to
particularly
see
in this
everybody
industry as
win.
well. I love it. I love it. For you, and I talked or I alluded to it a little bit, talking about equality, equity as well in the wrestling industry. And considering that you came up around 2015, I mean, what are your thoughts about how equality in the industry was then versus how it's been looking right now in 2022?
Oh, it was definitely harsh back then. There's so much of a difference now this year. So much more equality between the men and women, and even like we still struggle with the whole, race type thing sometimes. But we're getting somewhere. It's we're getting somewhere. Let's just say that we're not fully finished, but the growth of this industry has been amazing, and all we could do is just keep pushing to get it better.
I like that response, certainly. One of the other things that I am always intrigued about, and maybe it's because I'm from the East Coast and I've been to the West Coast many times, but I obviously don't live there at the moment. But I love the West Coast. You're from the West Coast. What is the West Coast wrestling scene like?
The West Coast wrestling, scene has been amazing. Honestly, everybody brings something different there. I would like to be more out there with the East Coast, to be honest. Like I mo- I pretty much know mostly the West Coast, if that makes sense. I'm still trying to get out on the other side to even compare what, the difference is. All I
Mhm.
can say is the West Coast has been amazing for me. So I just hope to expand to see all sides of it.
Yes. And what are your favorite things about the West Coast? And we're not even going into wrestling right now, just overall. And we always know the West Coast is sunny, so we can
I was about
just
to say
take
that.
we can
I
take
was
that
about to
part
say,
out because we know the weather is fantastic. But what else do you love about being on the West Side?
yeah, 'cause see, I'm a beach girl. I'm a water girl, so I need to have that sunny feel. I'm not a cold girl. I'm gonna be honest with you. So,
That's
but
it.
yeah, the West Coast. I don't know. I really I love it. Like I can't really explain that much, I guess. Huh.
It must be the vibe. That's one of the things that I love about the West Coast. There's just a certain vibe to it that you can't really express. It's just once you're there and you automatically just latch onto it. And either you love it or hate it, but I really don't know too many people that hate the West Coast. Even the most New Yorker of New Yorkers. I haven't met anyone that's like, I hate the West Coast. I never want to go there. So that's just me. That's just my experience.
Right. Yeah, no, the vibe's always been chill. I just love the people and stuff. Like I said, I'm just the water girl. I just like to chill. I'm not, wrestling or working. Like I would just like to be by the water with some good people, have some nice conversations and just relax.
Yeah, amen to that. I mean, once you make it out here, because I have no doubts that you're going to make it out here and do more amazing things on the East Coast. What are some promotions you'd like to work for? Like, what would you like to do in order to grow and expand on your wrestling career?
Shoot, honestly, I'm just trying to get everywhere. Anywhere specific? Honestly, just anywhere in all the places, to be honest. I'm trying to make more debuts, in different states. I'm trying to get out of country again. Luckily, like we hit China right before the pandemic hit, because otherwise I would have probably never been able to hit a country and wrestle for a good while, like for my first time. So uh I don't know. Honestly, I just want to go everywhere. Um, Mainly, I want to go to the UK, so and Japan. So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens in the future. I just want to go everywhere, all through East Coast, all through just.
Yes, yes. Now, what was China like? I've never been.
Wow, Chinese. It was very Chinese. No, but it was fun actually. The culture shock was really real.
Mhm.
Um, the students there, we had what? We had the Kung Fu Chinese students. We had the Japanese students from Japan with that came with SEMA, and then we have the Lucha group that came from Mexico, along with Skyda, the trainer. So we were all very diverse there, and then because then there was us Americans, so it was a very big like translation and everything. We had to like learn to accommodate with that, which it was cool because we got to learn each other's backgrounds and just the experience of all going through China. Let's just say they're actually very healthy, by the way. Like they eat a lot of rice, and you do not see like obesity over there like you do here. Um, their food is so much cleaner, to be honest. Like I don't eat fast food, but when I was out there, like their McDonald's and their Burger King and all that, they don't put all the same crap that they do here. So my stomach felt nice. It wasn't like you didn't feel like that type of like slouchiness. So I don't know. I got to give it to them a lot, and the students were very disciplined. Some of them came from the Shaolin Temple, and so you know, I I give them full 100% respect out there. A lot of those places, the stores, like the convenience stores and all them, the owners, they literally work like almost 24/7 there, and like have like probably like family member work for them, but I see them all day, and it's like, they work all year round until like January, February, and then they have that month off. And I'm just like, wow, like you guys work so hard here. And I thought I worked hard with I worked like 5 jobs out here in Wrestle. So I'm like, you guys over here like killing it. So
Oh, well, did you find the language barrier to be really, something where really difficult? I don't know if you knew any Chinese at all, or maybe a few words here and there, or if you were really struggling while you were over there trying to understand.
yeah, we had our translators on our phones, and actually we had a hyper streak from out here from FSW, and a few of them, they would try to help translate, so they were teaching them English, and then some of them were teaching us Chinese. So it was pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, actually, since none of them could speak really English, so when they had a call match, it was just more hand language and stuff like that. And luckily my opponent was Zeta throughout the whole time we were out there, and she speaks English, so she could speak English and Chinese, so she was able to translate for us, and we were just able to learn words. I could say ni hao and sai chen and all that other stuff. So I miss it. I would love to go out there again, to be honest. It was a really nice place. The foreign spots also are great. Yeah, if you want to go somewhere, I never thought in a million years, if somebody would ask me where would I want to go, I never thought I would say China. But when I got that opportunity and went, like, wow, I have a whole bunch of different amount of respect for them out there now.
Mm. What's one thing that you noticed immediately in terms of the differences between how wrestlers are needed to train in China versus the training that you found in America?
The training out there was crazy, by the way. Let me just say, I don't mean to throw us under the bus, but there was a few of almost every one of us Americans got hurt trying to push with those types of training there. I think it was like what 5,000 squats or 5,000 push-ups or sit-ups, something like that. It was crazy, like 500 to 5,000 or something like that for squats and sit-ups and crunches and all this stuff. And it was just like I came in with an like trying to recover an injury when I went out there, so I had already re-injured myself trying to catch up with the boys because I was the only girl again. So until Zeta came like months later. So yeah, I like I said, I give it to them. They are very disciplined there. Like I said, some of them came from the Shaolin Temple, so their discipline was so much harder, and like, man, I know if there was a mess up, then they take it to heart, and it's just like, yo, you guys like chill. You guys worked really hard. They work. I miss those kids. I talk to them still sometimes, and they miss us, and they really been trying to come out here. We were trying to get them to come out here. They are stars. Like they deserve to come out here and wrestle as well, just as much as all of us out here. I know WWE went out there and they actually took in one of our friends from OWE. So his name is Ben, and he is out there. So kudos to him. I'm happy for him.
Oh,
I'm
that's so
glad
nice.
they took acknowledgement for them out there. So
And I hope you get to go out there sooner than later, and that the borders can open up a little bit more just so you can travel and go everywhere like Japan, Mexico, all the places that you desire to go to. So, in
go everywhere.
yeah. And that's something that's commendable, right? Because if you want to be one of the best, it doesn't hurt to go to all of these different countries and learn, in as many different places and perform in as many different places as possible. When it
You only,
comes, yeah.
oh, sorry.
Oh no, the floor is yours.
Oh no, no, I was just saying you only live once, so it's like, big part of wrestling. Like I love like the inside of it, I love the psychology. I love creating moments and memories for the fans and for myself, and for just like things just keep going up. But the traveling as well, like is a big part of it, like if I could have, like, if I was able to and didn't have responsibilities like this little one and, bills and stuff, I'd probably just have an RV and just go everywhere and just, I'm that much of a chill hippie like that. Like I don't need my house and all this other stuff that, I just want to travel, wrestle. Those are my two main things.
Yes, I love it. So when you're away, who's watching your cute pooch? How does that work? I always wondered how, because I have furry babies myself. How does that whole thing happen where you have to be away for sometimes days or weeks at a time? What do you do?
So luckily that's why you have a roommate. I have two. Well, what's funny is actually we're wrestlers. So I live with Estrella, me and Estrella live together, and then we have another roommate as well. So, when I'm gone or she's gone, then he's there. And then like, if one of us don't have a booking or something, like we, switch around, and because she has a dog as well. But then we also have really good friends as well that if we need one to come by and feed them, we can, or vice versa. We've had wrestlers that would like to drop their dogs with us and we babysit if we have a day. So, that's the perks of having roommates and good wrestling friends.
Love that. Absolutely love that. So, in terms of your overall career and looking towards the future, what do you hope to achieve, not just in the rest of this year, but overall? Like, what's on your bucket list that you really want to get accomplished as time goes on?
This year?
Oh,
Uh,
yes, even overall. Mhm.
oh, overall? Well, so like you, yes, I've hit AEW, I've hit Ring of Honor, I've hit Impact way back 2020, like right before the pandemic. And then, I would like to get on NWA. That would be another big goal right there. Uh, Hurricane Pro. Um, there's like a few places that I really just want to hit for my goal, and it'd be nice to finally get that acknowledgement and recognition of that I would like to be here and get signed, I'm
Yes.
getting old.
And it looks like you have that glint in your eye when you said NWA, like you're looking for that championship title. You got to go up against
Acknowledge me.
exactly, exactly. But those are really amazing goals, and it doesn't hurt to acknowledge that and really bet on yourself. What's one of the most valuable things you've learned while being in the Mission Pro locker room to date?
Just being humble and just listen, uh, just learn from each other. You don't have to always talk about yourself. You know, you can't judge anybody by looking at them. You never know what they've been through or what they've gone through. And it's great to just open up and just talk to each other. And you just learn so much of a different like aspect of life just by talking to just each individual and stuff like that. The sisterhood was great. I love the love there. And I just hope that we could have that in every locker room of just everybody having each other's back and just being there with each other.
Yes. What advice would you give to another young woman or a young girl who really would love to be a professional wrestler and travel the world and do all of these wonderful things and really leave a legacy behind?
You're really going to have to be mentally prepared for all the crazy. There will be ups, but there will be a lot of freaking downs. You have to be ready financially, I would suggest, because it's a damn struggle. Um, there's going to be a lot of crying, so be ready for that. But no, just you got to be tough. This is not just like, oh, you know, let's do total bellas and reality shows and things like that, because that's what some girls try to do when they come in and train at FSW. That's what they're thinking they're about to do. They take the first bump and then you never see them again. And we've had that countless of times. And if you want to be serious, just know that there's going to be a lot of roughness. There's going to be like painful, but like your body's going to be in pain. You're going to be tired physically, mentally, financially. It's going to be crazy, but you have to realize, are you ready for that? You know, put yourself, it's just so hard to explain. because there is a lot. So just be ready. Just know what you're putting yourself into and mentally be ready for it.
Wise words. What does your family and your friends who are outside of the wrestling world think about your whole wrestling career?
When I was younger, nobody, everybody laughed at me. Nobody believed in me. That's because my upbringing of how, like, where I came up with drugs and around the wrong environment of gangs and stuff. And so being that nobody really believed in me, my dad that raised me was the only one that believed. And I wish he could have been able to see me wrestle before he passed. But yeah, like, stop. Sorry, my dog. Shoot. Now I just lost my thought because my dog. Sorry. What was I just saying?
That's
See
okay.
what you made me do. See what you made me do. He's being really needy right now. He's got prostate cancer right now, so he's been really needy on me right now. But
Okay.
yeah. But where was I at? Sorry. I am so
Yes,
sorry. I had that
that's
brain
okay.
fart.
You were talking about your dad wishing that he could see.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Um, yeah, so that he was the only one that believed in me. But as I got older and then started training, people started seeing on social media that I'm actually trying to train and do it. Once I started actually like wrestling and doing it, so many older friends that used to make fun of me for it, or supposed friends or whatever, they're like, wow, you actually did it, like, congratulations, blah blah blah, like all that. My foster mom, she's so supportive about it. She's cool. My real mom, she's crazy. She thinks I'm gonna like be paralyzed and blah blah blah, and then she's gonna have to come pick up the pieces, blah blah blah. She thought I sold my, she left me a voice message saying I sold my soul for fame and wrestling and all this stuff. But joke's on her because I'm not famous and I'm not rich. So, that it obviously, it never happened. So she's really funny for that. But everybody else, like, I have a good support system now. My best friend has been there. She comes to my shows. My foster mom comes to my shows. Like, it's great. I have good friends that when I'm out in their area, they come out and see it. So I thank them all for being great. And it's been a long journey. And I'm glad that they're proud of me. And yeah, I'm proud of them.
Mhm. And you have so many fans that are proud of you as well, Maserati. I mean, like I stated before, in such a short period of time, you've managed to really carve a unique path in the wrestling industry for yourself. And you've aligned yourself with so many fantastic promotions, such as Mission Pro and all of the others that you've stated and more. Do you have any final thoughts before we head out for what has been such a wonderful interview? And I'm really honored to finally meet you, Maserati.
Thank you, thank you. And I have to say, you look very pretty, by the way.
Oh, thank you. As
I'm
you
loving.
do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, just thank you everybody for following my journey, and you have definitely not seen the last of me. So let's put that manifestation in there that I'll be in the good areas of where I want to be.
Yes, I'm all about manifestation. And I do also want to add really quickly, I know I didn't state it before, but we do know you had a defeat, unfortunately, against Maddie Rankowski. Is there anything you want to tell Maddie? I've had her on a previous Mission Pro related show before. She's a spunky one. So I don't know if there's anything you want to say to her.
Maddie, yes. You got me just by a hair, but I'll be back. I'll be back. If Mission Pro, finally lets that happen, I'm up for any time of a rematch. Of course, this time we'll see what the outcome will be, and I ain't going down.
Yes, yes. That's what we love about you, Maserati, your warrior fighting spirit. Thank you so much for being a part of this special Black History Month series. We love you and can't wait to see more. Thank you all for watching this special iteration for Mission Pro Wrestling. Please stay tuned to Mission Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel for more exclusive scoops from all of your favorite wrestlers. And also check out Mazzerati on her social media platforms. You can also find me on social media. All of that information will be in the description box. Once again, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, we will see you later.